Hey, what's up? Tim Sykes, millionaire mentor and trader here with a very important video lesson. So please watch it entirely through. I know many of you guys just want like the first 30 seconds. Please watch this one entirely so that you understand my points. I just tweeted this because I see a lot of people kind of taking the wrong approach to stock trading. And it's not necessarily hurting you right now, but you won't realize that you're wrong and you won't realize that you're learning flawed methodology until it's too late. So I want you watching this video and I want you understanding the proper mindset and methodology before it is too late. I hate getting emails from people who said, "Oh, Tim, I wish I had found you before, I lost 10,000, 20,000, 50, $100,000 on my own, or, learning from somebody who's just frankly wrong." There's a lot of people out there who claim to teach and a lot of people who claim to make millionaires. I'm actually real. Um, Frankly, it's very frustrating for me to be in this industry full of scams and be real, because a lot of people are like, "Oh, I don't know if you're real or not." And they have this doubt, and it makes me so annoyed because now I have to repeat everything. Even when I do teach you a lesson, half the people don't watch it. The other half, maybe actually 40% of people, don't even follow it. They don't apply the rules, and then they wonder why they lose. So just give me the benefit of the doubt. That's what I'm asking. I want more millionaire students, but you need to kind of just say, "Hey, okay, Tim, I'm in. I believe you." I show every single trade. In case you want some proof, here are my profits, roughly 4.6 million. And just this year, even though I'm traveling and trading with small accounts and still working on, getting my bigger accounts up and running, I'm still making, 50 grand, a few $1,000s. Sometimes I have losses. I'm not ashamed to admit the losses. PXLW was actually a nice little multi-day winner. Sometimes I hold for a few minutes, hours, days. It all depends on the situation. This was a nice earnings winner, and I made video lessons about that. It's not just me. Here's Michael Good, my first millionaire student, closing in on $2 million in profits, and you can see his year-to-date, 29,000. And here is my top student, Tim Grittani, who's closing in on 3.7 million now. Pretty crazy in his first 5 years. And he actually has to update his trades because he's been a little busy, but he has made roughly 300,000. So actually he's closing in on 4 million. But these are just a few people, and we show every single trade, whether it's a gain or loss, and that is how you know that we are real. There's a lot of people out there who claim to be rich. They don't show every single trade. They don't alert in the chat rooms in real time. And those people who do, some do, guess what? They're trading only low float stocks. They're in it for 3 or 4 minutes or 5 minutes. They get all their subscribers in and then they get out. I don't want to do that. If I ever trade a low float stock these days, I'm making live video lessons. I'm not even alerting because I want you learning. And I have several live video lessons. I encourage you to watch it. But today's video, sorry for the little intro, but I have to get you guys understanding why I'm real. And these are just a few students. I have now dozens of students earning 6 figures a year. I actually have several upcoming millionaire students. But it's all about taking it one trade at a time and trading safely. This is the point that I wanted to make. I just tweeted this a little while ago, like 30 minutes ago. I'm in Asia, by the way, in case you wonder why I have so much energy at like midnight. It's not midnight for me. It's midday. I'm here in Asia the next few days working on my charity schools. We're actually building a hospital from scratch now too. I have a lot to do, but I see a lot of newbie traders making assumptions. And it's so frustrating to me because, if you've been trading for like 1, 2, 3, 4 years, and let's say you've made, 50, 100,000, even 300,000 or 500,000, you think that you know everything. And I see this with like some newbies, like they're like criticizing millionaire traders like me, Michael Good, Tim Grittani, Mark Crook, who's made, nearly 700,000. Congrats to Mark Crook on just having a baby yesterday, which is awesome. But you're not an expert, okay, until you make 7 figures. And, I don't know what the exact level is. Maybe you're an expert at 700,000 or like a million or 2 million. But the more money that you've made trade by trade and showing every trade transparently, the more credibility you have. That said, even if you do have millions, I'm basically just explaining and expanding on these tweets. But even if you have made millions and you have decades of experiences, you can still lose it all very easily. Oh, I had a typo. But if you haven't made millions and you don't have decades of experience, please just don't be cocky. I see so many people messaging just various people in the chat room and stuff like that. And you guys think that, you know everything. I don't know everything. Okay. I make dumbass mistakes all the time, but please, this is just a little reminder. Stay humble, be safe, trade safely, or else the market does have a habit of humbling you with very important but also very expensive lessons. And I hate seeing that. I hate seeing it, for my students. I hate seeing it for my worst enemy. It doesn't matter. I don't like losses, okay? I want everybody to trade better. I want everybody to be more profitable. I wish that 90% of traders didn't lose money. And if there's one thing that I have learned over the years, it is to trade safely, to cut losses quickly. Yesterday I had a few losses. Didn't matter. I cut them quickly and my gains were bigger, so I still made roughly $2,000 on the day. That's how you do things. And it doesn't matter if you're wrong. It's not the end of the world. We're all wrong sometimes. You adapt. Maybe I'll be a little less aggressive buying contract winners. Given the fact that I've had more success buying earnings winners lately, maybe I should be a little more aggressive in that. So trading is constantly adapting to what's working. You maximize the positions on plays and strategies that are working, and you minimize your position size and strategies that aren't working. And we're all different. I'm in Asia right now, so it's tough for me to have these multi-day positions, but frankly, my earnings winner on PXLW worked out nicely. Let me see what PRCP is doing. I can't even get stocks to trade. Oh my God, PRCP bounced. I can't get my stocks to trade working. My Wi-Fi isn't that great here. But PRCP is a nice multi-day bouncer now, even though the liquidity is shit. So I don't really mind exiting. But this is nice to see that this multi-day winner is working. PXLW was a nice multi-day winner. And you can see here, I was dip buying in the 330s. On the breakout, dip buying, earnings winner, right at support. And look at this. This doesn't look like anything huge, but 340 to 380, this is a 10% plus move. Now PRCP, you can see the breakout was at 7. Come on, Wi-Fi. The breakout was at 7, so you dip buy it anywhere near 7. Now 750, nearly 10%. And again, a lot of people will say this is, small gains. Like, why are you focusing on 5, 10% winners? Well, for me and my travel situation, and frankly what I think is working best right now, these are pretty good trades. And if you can make 5 or 10% in a day or two with very little risk, dip buying an earnings winner that holds support, you do it. But please, 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 just don't get cocky. Some of you guys, you think that you've seen everything. You make like $1,000 and all of a sudden you know more than a millionaire or a multimillionaire. Tim, you trade like such a little wuss. Yes, I trade like a wuss because I've seen it all. I've been in bear markets. I've been in bull markets. Cockiness, aggression is not the answer. Even if you're making more percentage-wise, you're making more than me right now, that is not right, okay, all the time. It's okay if you beat me. I don't care. I love it when students beat me. I'm not trading the most aggressively. You'll see that I actually trade probably, overly safe. But that's the way that I like to teach too. And in case I'm not making my point clear, it's good to trade overly safe. It's good to practice. Stocks to Trade just released paper trading where you can practice not using real money. Use it. Practice makes perfect. Some of you guys are emailing me in the challenge. You're like, oh, I can't get my executions right. I'm just off on my timing. Practice makes perfect. Utilize paper trading. I know it's not going to teach you everything. It's not a full education. It doesn't condition you when there's money at risk, but it does help you identify key breakout levels and breakdown levels, and you can practice without risking money. And that way you learn and you stay safe and you stay humble. And the key is that you're in this for the long term. Let me just show you one thing. One sec. So this is a blog post from a few months ago about a key trait that you need to become a millionaire. And it was focused on a message, actually a few messages from some of my students who had passed, 100,000 in profits and 300,000 in profits. And they're not cocky, okay? They're very fortunate. They're very grateful. They're very humble. And I highlighted my dad. This was my dad throwing out the first pitch at Fenway, and that was pretty sweet. And then there's $1 million in cash. I show visuals to try to motivate you. But look at this. This is Jeff, and he says account finally reached 100,000 mark thanks to you, Timothy Sykes. Jeff, no, it's thanks to you. All I can do is show you rules. It's up to you to follow them and be dedicated. And then Charlie, another great community member, said, keep it up. That's awesome. And Jeff says, lost a lot at first. Then something just clicked, a little over 10K a month. And this is something that I see happening again and again and again. And I can point to literally dozens of students who are now making 10K a month. And it clicks. Practice makes perfect. Here's a student from NH. Here's a message from my student NH. He passed 300,000 in profits. And he says, "Hi, Tim. What's up? I was a challenge student in late 2013 into 2014. During the first year, I managed to wipe my account out 5 or 6 times, though. But I never stopped learning from my mistakes and from your teachings. I'm not looking for you to publish it, though I have to say thank you. Today, after roughly 3 years, I hold an account of $320,000. I owe you more than you can imagine. Bought a house, bought my dream car. I just wish more people would understand that you're real. Thank you, and please do not publish. If you do, remove my name, and thank you, mate, for real." That's why it's NH. A lot of people are like, who is this? He doesn't want the exposure. That's fine. This is a very good example of how, he was not safe. He did not trade conservatively in the beginning. And he learned a lot of hard lessons. That said, wiping out his account of a few $1,000s. I think he lost like 2,000 and then like 3,000 and then 2,000 and 3,000. So not the end of the world. I know that it sucks to lose money and it sucks to wipe your account out, but he learned the hard way. And you can either learn the hard way or you can listen to me. A lot of students wipe out their accounts if you don't cut losses quickly, okay? A lot of students do this. But there's more messaging that you don't see that I didn't post here. But he basically said he learned to trade safer. He learned not to bet so big. And even though, losing a few thousand and turning now into 6 figures seems like, okay, he just bet big and kept betting big and eventually it worked out. No, he altered his strategy. He learned from betting big and losing everything, and then he gradually changed. With these stocks, there is enough volatility that you don't need to bet big. You don't need to be aggressive. You don't need to risk it all. You should never go all in. You shouldn't use leverage because crazy stuff happens with penny stocks. And even if you don't get burnt this time or next time or even the next 5 trades or 10 trades, especially in this bull market, it seems like pretty much anything you buy can go up. And it's like, Tim, why are you such a wuss? You're trading overly safe. You've just lost it. I haven't lost it. I've gotten better as a teacher. And what is working for me as a teacher and what's working for my students is not being aggressive. Okay? Singles add up. Small gains. Wait, let me find the tweet from the other day. One of my students highlighted this perfectly. Hold on. So here was my student, Corey Watson. And I love how he's, keeping this spreadsheet. Come on, load. Of how he's making money. And some people criticize this because I highlighted this. He had some losses. He lost like $98 in October. Then he made $3,000 in November. Then December, it was a shortened month for him. Some losses. And then January, he made some money. But let me just show you his recent stuff because it's actually pretty cool. He updated his most recent spreadsheet. And now you can see, again, his losses. And now look at January and February and look at the transition. And again, most people will look down on making $100, $200, $50, and they'll say, Sykes teaches you to trade too safely, like singles don't make you rich. Yes, they do. Yes, they fucking do. That's the one thing that I want to teach you guys. A few $100 here or there and a few $1,000s adding up over time. And then as your account grows, you can bet bigger. And as your account grows, ideally, you have more experience, you have more knowledge, you have more know-how, and then you can scale up and be more comfortable. But you have to learn to hit singles first, okay? You don't become a great trader by going for home runs from day one. Trust me. Please trust me. I'm begging you. Aim for singles. Aim small, miss small, especially in the beginning, especially until, you make your first, 500,000 or $1 million. And then, okay, once you're a millionaire, you can start, betting bigger. And you want to be balls to the wall, that's fine. But I know a lot of millionaires who have had a rough few months because a lot of what they used to be doing, shorting a lot of these junk companies don't just drop as easily as they used to. And it's a very stressful strategy. I know a lot of big short sellers who have not been doing very well. That's why they're not on Profitly. They don't like showing all their trades. So keep aiming for singles. Keep being safe. And recognize that this is a game that takes time. And the longer you're in it, the better you'll do. It's not like sports where, you have to become a pro athlete in like your teens or 20s, because by the time you're like 30, 35, unless you're Tom Brady, your career is done, okay? With trading and the stock market, this is going to be around all your life. So if you start learning in your teens and you start learning in your 20s, and if you're under 18, you need parental permission. I don't make the rules, I'm sorry. But you start learning young and you get better over time. And, this is just a few months of Corey. I'm excited to see what he does, March, April, May, June. Even if he takes a month off, even if he has a setback month, okay? This is not like a linear process where every single month you're definitely going to do better. Everybody is different and learning takes time, but practice does make perfect. Trading safe is the way to go, and not forcing yourself. A lot of you guys have like these ridiculous expectations because, you're paying money for stocks to trade. You're paying me money to learn. You're paying like your broker for commissions. You're like, God, this adds up. I need success right away. You cannot expect success immediately. This is something that takes time to learn. And if you want to cheap out on your education, I know a lot of people who use Robinhood Broker, they have no commissions and they absolutely fucking suck for executions and a whole bunch of other things, okay? There's a bunch of offshore brokers that are cheaper and they absolutely suck. And if you learn the wrong way, even if you're trying to save, $5 or $10 here or there, trust me, it's going to cost you far more in the long run. If you don't use stocks to trade, if you don't pay attention to these rules, it's going to cost you far more in the long run. I know you don't see it. I know many of you guys just want to cheap out on everything. But the way that I've structured my teaching business is specifically to make you into a millionaire, because I love creating millionaires from scratch. And never, never doubt that. Never forget that. This is why I have more millionaire students than anybody. And we have several upcoming millionaire students, and it's going to be amazing. But in order for you to become a millionaire, you have to have the right mindset. If you blow up, you're not everybody's like, NH, where, he's going to blow up 3 or 4 or 5 times, and then he keeps learning. Some of you guys are going to blow up once or twice if you ignore these rules, and you're going to be like, trading's not for me. This sucks. Penny stock sucks. Tim Sykes sucks. Because you're breaking the rules. You have the wrong mindset. So for me, it's not just about finding the hot stocks every day. I can do that. Stocks to trade can help, Corey actually loves his success is with Oracle. He went from 18,000 to 27,000, by the way. But he's using Oracle. Where was his other tweet? Oracle is this new AI function that we have on stocks to trade. Why is this not working? This takes forever. You can see how bad my Wi-Fi is. Where was his tweet about Oracle? I don't know. He's using Oracle on stocks to trade, which we have a whole guide on how to use that, and he loves that too. So props to Corey. Where was it? And other people are studying him. I like this. Success No Rest is actually studying Corey's stuff. So get inspired and understand that this stuff takes time. And I know that you have pressure to succeed right away, but you can't give in to that. I know your family and friends are like, this is the Wolf of Wall Street. This is a scam, blah, blah, blah. It's not. And I'm not the Wolf of fucking Wall Street. I'm real. And because I'm real, it does take time. And because I'm real, I have to teach you that you can never be too sure or confident on any stock. You can be wrong on any play. And if you pay attention to my rules about cutting losses quickly and aiming small and missing small, even when you are wrong, it's not going to hurt your account that much. No different than when I was dead wrong on MCHX yesterday. I was dead fucking wrong. And am I embarrassed? Am I ashamed? Am I hiding in a shell? Am I not going to share my trades on Profitly like so many cowardly fucking fake ass traders do? No, I'm going to talk about my losses. Yesterday's video lesson was all about my losses and my mistakes. And yet I was still positive on the day because I cut losses quickly, because I play safe. Where was Corey's tweet? This is going to bug me. Tim Alerts, video lessons. Here we go. So he actually highlighted this tweet, this breakdown of Oracle. And I highly encourage you to use Oracle, okay? Hold on, let me retweet him. It's just, new AI software. It's not like full Skynet yet, but it's getting better. and it helps you spot the hottest plays. And you need to use stocks to trade to use Oracle. But Corey's been using it and it's been making him money. So just please be safe. Don't be cocky. You know, where was my, I have too many tweets going on right now. Don't be like so many people where they're so confident in this stuff. And, you know, the market is just going to crush them. And I hate it. I hate thinking about that. Because remember, always remember, 90% of traders lose. Okay? So stay safe. And if you get this, leave a comment under this video with 2 words. Stay safe. Because the market is so crazy. These penny stocks are so crazy. You could do all the research in the world. You can be so sure. And something could happen, whether you're long or short, and you risk blowing up, and you risk losing everything. And sometimes you do blow up, and you're not like my student NH who blows up 5 or 6 times and keeps trying again. All it takes for many of you guys is to fail once, and then you're like, I'm done. So I don't want that to happen. The worst mistake you can make is not blowing up. The worst mistake is cutting your education short and not realizing that this stuff takes time. Because frankly, you all, every single one of you watching this can be successful if you give this enough time. But I see what discourages you. I see what happens when you have a big loss or you feel uncomfortable in a trade and you stop studying and you cut your education short and you blame everybody but yourself. And I don't want that to happen. I want you studying. I want you in this for years and decades. Because trust me, year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, like the whole game changes. But you have to be in it. You have to realize that it takes time to learn. Tim Grattani, my top student, hold on, let me pull him up. 1 sec, watch this. Here he is, my top student, Tim Grattani, and we were featured on, CNN Money. This was, 3 years ago now, a little over 3 years ago. And this was when he turned 1,500 into $1 million in 3 years. And guess what? Now he's closing in on 4 million. So he's quadrupled his money in the past 3 years. But it took him 9 months to even get consistently profitable. Okay? So you think that in order to turn 1,500 of your own money into $1 million in 3 years, like he's profitable from day one. That's not true. It takes time to learn. And it takes time to really get into this, okay? This is real. This is not some bullshit binary options. Look at this, binary options. I have to do a video exposing what a joke that industry is. This is not Forex, where 5 out of 6 traders blow up in the first 6 months because you can't compete in that niche. You have no edge. You're competing against billionaires and algorithmic traders that are far more advanced and so much better informed and quicker than you. The only way to make a lot of money quickly is to get into a niche where there's not a lot of competition. And penny stocks, even if you think that there's a lot of competition, there's not, okay? Less than, I would guesstimate, 0.1% of the market even bothers to study. 99.9% of penny stock traders and investors just buy these pieces of shit companies and they think that they're going to go to the moon. They think they're going to be the next Microsoft. That is the vast majority. And I can't reach hardly anybody in time to tell them, wait, these are mostly scams. Just use the volatility. Don't believe anything that these companies say. And most people, 99.9%, and this is just an estimate, maybe it's 99.8% or something, but the overwhelming vast majority of people in penny stocks are fucking idiots who haven't prepared. And that gives you an edge if you do prepare, if you do learn the patterns. Most people don't think about a stock like PRCP. Why does it spike on day 3? It's just one red day here. This looks like, wait a minute, there was a red day here. What makes this red day different from this day? Oh, it's a multi-month breakout with huge volume on earnings. Why is PXLW spiking when it couldn't really spike before? What makes this different? Oh, it's a multi-month breakout on earnings with strong volume. It's actually a ridiculous kind of breakout here. Okay? So you have to look at this. And these are just little, 5, 10% winners. They're nothing. They're absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things. But it's learning the patterns that work. It's understanding that you have to witness them. And sometimes you're going to screw up, I didn't have a great gain on PXLW at once. You know, my short-term trade didn't do well. I actually made roughly $2,000 on my longer-term trade. So it's not an exact science. But more times than not, if you stick with this game, you will see that these patterns work again and again and again and again and again. More times than they won't. And when they don't work, you simply cut your losses quickly. That's today's lesson. Stay safe, and leave a comment with the word stay safe if you understand what I'm meaning. Study this weekend. Don't waste any single day. If you want true success, if you want to be my next 7-figure student, you're going to have to put in time and effort on days that you don't want to. That's the beauty of being real. That's what it takes to actually be truly successful in anything. Put in more time than other people do, and you become an expert, and you realize and you learn the nuances and the subtleties over time. Have patience. That's it. See you guys.